And then we come to the composite synthesis level, which is reading at the sentence level, but with understanding. At the symbolic association level, we said to students, this is this pattern, look at it, and read it. Now at the composite synthesis level, things get a little trickier, and we're combining multiple patterns together so students are able to sequence patterns together and bring context to the notation, just as they brought context orally to the patterns at the partial synthesis level.
First step in composite synthesis is to get students to read patterns longer than the standard 4 macrobeat pattern that they're used to. To begin with, you might have students read a series of familiar patterns, one after the other, without stopping.
Let's read them all together. 1 through 8. Ready and go. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Number 8. Now let's
First line, a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, here you go. Do today, do today, do today. Second line, look at it. Ready, here we go. Do today, do today, do today, do. Third line, ready and read. That was do today, do today. Last line, ready and read.
After students have read patterns in both duple and triple, it's important to vacillate between the 2 meters to see if students can look at the notation of familiar patterns, derive the meter, recall the syllables that you've already taught them, and perform a longer musical sentence.
Look at the time signature and the rhythm patterns and ask yourself, are you audiating do-day or do-da-dee as the microbeats? If you're audiating do-day, the music is in duple meter. If you're audiating do-da-dee, the music is in triple meter. Look at example number 1. Are you audiating do-day or do-da-dee as the microbeat? Do-day. That's correct. And when you audiate do-day as the microbeat, is the music in duple or triple? Duple. That's right. But now scan the passage and you should see lots of familiar patterns.
Younger students will need you to demonstrate this for them. Sometimes you'll need to perform the pattern for them, sometimes you won't. It all depends upon the age level of the students, their musical experience, and their musical aptitude.
Read number 1 out loud right now.
Do, day, do, day, do, day, do.
And let's try one more together, and then you're on your own. Look at passage number 2. Are you audiating do-day or do-da-dee as the microbeat?
Do-da-dee.
And when you audiate do-da-dee as the microbeat, is the music in duple or triple?
Triple.
That's right.
When students have had experience with multiple time signatures, composite synthesis is an essential tool for them to take in all of the visual elements and synthesize it with their audiation. Remember, students bring meaning to the notation and can identify the meter.
And read number 2 out loud right now.
Do-da-dee-do, do-da-dee-do, do-da-dee-do.
Look at this example from the choral musician. I might say something like this to students. Look at number 1. Are we in duple or triple meter, and how would you know? That's right, we are in duple meter because we're seeing 2/4 and we're seeing do days or paired eighth notes. Audiate number 1. Give them a chance to audiate it. Okay, let's read number 1 together. Ready and read. Do, day, do, day. Read the whole thing together, then have the students, as a group, read the whole thing together. Read number 1, ready, here you go. Do, day, do. Then you might ask individual students to perform the pattern by themselves. Let's look at number 2. Is this in duple or triple, and how do you know? That's right, it's in triple meter because we're seeing 6/8 as the time signature, and we're seeing do-da-dees and not do-day. Very good. Let's read number 2 together. Ready and read. do-da-dee-doo, 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 etc. Have them read it as a group, and then ask for individual students. And then continue on with number 3. Are we in duple or triple, and why? That's right, because we're seeing cut time as the time signature and due days and not doo-da-dees. Number 4, that's right, we're seeing 3/4 as the time signature and we're seeing doo-da-dees and not due days. And number 5, we are in duple meter because we're seeing 4/4 as the time signature and we're seeing due days and not doo-da-dees. Then continue on duple, triple as an entire class, and then make sure you're assessing individuals. Another important yet often overlooked aspect of composite synthesis is the combining of functions. So let's say we are in my high school choir class or my high school piano class, and we've done all the aforementioned macrobeats and microbeats in 2/4, 4/4, cut time, 6/8, 3/4. Then we did divisions in duple and triple and all time signatures. Then we did elongations in duple and triple and all time signatures. And then here we are. I'm about to teach students division elongation in duple meter. Let's assume that I've already done it at the oral and the verbal association level. And now here I am at the symbolic association level, and I'm going to teach students 3 rhythm cells. Do-ta, do-ta, and do-ta-ta. So we chant these each a few times. Chant the first one, do-ta-do, to-do, to second one, do-ta, do-ta, do-ta. Next one, do-ta, ta-do-ta, ta-do-ta, ta-do-ta. Then I might point to each individual one and see if students can do it without me. And then we're going to read, continuing on at the pattern level. We are still at symbolic association. I'll teach each of these rhythm cells one at a time, surrounded only by macrobeats and microbeats. So number 1 is do-ta-do, day, do, day, do. Everyone read number 1 with me. Do-ta-do, day, do, day, do. Then I might teach do-ta, do-ta the same way. Number 1 is do-ta, do, day, do, day, do. Everybody read number 1. Here you go. Do-da, do-day, do-day, do. Few more examples of those. And then this rhythm cell, do-ta, ta-do-ta, ta-do-ta, ta-do-ta. Number 1 is do-ta, ta-do-day, do-day, do. Everybody read number 1. Here you go. Do-ta, ta-do-day, do-day, do. Few more examples of just that isolated rhythm cell. Then we combine do-ta and do-ta and do-ta-ta. Again, only surrounded by other macrobeats and microbeats, still at symbolic association, reading at the pattern level. Look at number 1, audiate, and read. Do-da, ta-do, day, do, to-do. Now for younger students, you might have to do that with them a few times. For older students, I can just throw them right off the cliff and have them read it. This is fine because this is all familiar content, just in unfamiliar order. Audiate number 2. Ready and read. Do-da, do-day, do-ta. And keep going like
Are you a
that.
music teacher interested in teaching from an audiation perspective? Then the faculty library may be just what you need. It has all of my patterns, tunes for teaching, and teacher videos all in one place. Scan the QR code or click below to find out how to take advantage of all the great resources for your classroom in the faculty library.
Now, composite synthesis. Let's assume that we have done that same thing in 2/4, 4/4, and 2/2. And now let's combine macrobeats and microbeats and divisions and elongations and division elongations. And that's where the composite synthesis comes in, is the combining of rhythmic functions. Now again, for older students, you could just throw them off the cliff and see what they can do. But for younger students, you might need to chunk it out, divide the measure in half. All right, I'll turn my thinking inside out. Look at number 2. Are we in duple or triple meter? Duple meter, right? Because we're seeing 4/4 and we're seeing due days as the microbeats. So let's chunk it out. I'm seeing an elongation. I'm seeing due day. Second half of this measure, I'm seeing do to do. Let's combine those. Ready? Here we go. Do, day, do to do. Next measure, chunk it out. First half, that's right, it's do, day, do, day. Second half of the measure, yep, it's do ta to do, day. Let's read the first two measures together. Ready? Read with me. Do, day, do to do. Do, day, do ta to do, day. Third measure, chunk it out by yourself. Give them a chance to chunk it out. Read the third measure. Ready? Here you go. That's right. Do, day, do to do, day. And then audiate the last measure. Perform the last measure by yourself. Go. I hope you said do, day, do ta to do. All right, audiate the whole thing by yourself. Give them a chance to audiate, and then let's read it together. Ready and read. And then they read the whole thing by themselves. So that's composite synthesis, teaching students how to teach themselves, giving them the tools. Chunk it out, combining rhythm cells, audiate, and then I might move on to another one and have students do it all by themselves. Take a second, look at number 6. Audiate, chunk it out as necessary, and then just see how they do. Read number 6, ready, here you go. And hopefully they can do it. If they can't, go back and do some more composite synthesis teaching. Tonally, students have been taught tonal sequence number 1.
Do, mi, so, fa, re, ti, do, so, do.
They can audiate it, they can improvise with it, they can generalize, and here we are at the symbolic association level. So, la, so, fa, mi, re, ti, do. Students read at the pattern level. Number 1 is do, mi, so, fa, re, ti. Look at the notation and sing number 1. Do, mi, so, fa, re, ti. And continue on just as we did in the previous video on symbolic association. And then we learn to read more patterns. Here we are at the symbolic association level with 15 patterns that students have been taught at the oral, verbal association, partial synthesis levels. So, la, so, fa, mi, re, ti, do. And then they're taught to read the patterns in familiar order. Read these familiar patterns with me. Do, mi, so, do, ti, re, mi, do, and on. Then students read these same familiar patterns in unfamiliar order. Look at number 1, audiate, read it, do, mi, so. So at this point, we're teetering on the edge between symbolic association and composite synthesis. The lines aren't so easily drawn. Audiate, read this one, so, mi, do, so, do, audiate. Do, mi, so, fa, re, ti. And now we get into true composite synthesis. We're going to have students read familiar tonic and dominant patterns. Note the word familiar. If we were having students read unfamiliar patterns, then this would be generalization symbolic. So in this example, we have F as do, and then we have all familiar patterns. For younger students or more inexperienced musicians, you might have to do it first for them. Look at number 1 and audiate as I read them for you. Do, mi, so, re, ti, re, so, do. Then you might do some monologue patterns in between. Do, mi, do, re, ti, re, do, so, do. And then have students read. Ready and read. They read that as a class. Clear the palette. So, fa, re, ti, re, mi, do. Johnny number 1. Now, if Johnny is inexperienced, you might want to sing it with Johnny. But technically, since we've all performed it all together, we have already done the teaching mode. And now another wrinkle is to introduce new keys. Sol, la, sol, fa, mi, re, ti, do. So now we're teetering on the edge between composite synthesis and generalization symbolic. It's the exact same patterns, and familiar patterns at that, but in a new key. Can they do it on their own? Maybe they can. If they can't, then go back to composite synthesis proper and teach them the patterns. Same thing, new key. Same familiar patterns, unfamiliar order. New key. Same patterns, unfamiliar order. Now we might introduce some new tonal functions. Sol, la, sol, fa, mi, re, ti, do. So here I am at the symbolic association level. I'm going to teach students some scale patterns. They've already performed them at the aural and verbal association level. Now here I am at symbolic association. Number 1 is do, re, mi, do, ti, do. Look at the notation and sing do, re, mi, do, ti, do. Continue on with these familiar scale patterns in unfamiliar order. And now we come to composite synthesis, combining of functions, combining harmonic patterns and scale patterns. Now, depending upon the sophistication of your students, you might need to go through composite synthesis proper and perform the patterns for students. Sol, la, sol, fa, mi, re, ti, do. Number 1 is do, re, mi, do, mi, so. Sing number 1. Change between keys rapidly, boom, boom, boom. See if they can do it. Using composite synthesis as a teaching tool. When students are struggling with a passage rhythmically, you can use composite synthesis as a teaching technique. In my keyboard class, sometimes students might struggle with the rhythm of this tune. I might try any of the following. Could you chant microbeats? Do-da-dee, do-da-dee, and follow along with the notation as I chant the rhythm. Dee-do, dee-ta-do, dee-do, dee-do. Dee-do, dee-ta-do, dee-do. Could you chant the rhythm syllables of the melody of this song with me? Ready? Dee-do, dee-ta-do, dee-do, dee-do. Dee-do, dee-ta-do, dee-do. Now I'll chant microbeats, and could you chant the rhythm? This is only true composite synthesis if all the patterns are familiar to students. If you're in a pinch and you need something taught quickly and the students don't yet know the rhythmic function at the pattern level, you could use the same technique, but you are in fact bridging students to generalization symbolic. But with a sharp group, it'll get the job done. For example, in my choir this year, I threw this tune at them as a sight reading example. We spoke the words, we spoke the rhythm of the melody, we chanted the rhythm of the melody together first with words, and then I instructed them to follow along as I chanted the rhythm of the melody. Do, do, day, do, 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 day, do, do, day, do, etc. And that's really all the guidance they needed. And don't forget about the composite synthesis sublevel of writing. There are several ways to approach this. The first way is very similar to the way that we approached writing at the symbolic association level, but we would add more patterns and more functions and continue to drive home the importance of context. Rhythmically, show students a longer pattern, not too long, with multiple functions. Have students copy the time signature and audiate the pattern. Ask students to name the meter, read it together, hide it from students' view, and then they write it from audiation. You can walk around the room and show students the pattern again if they need it. Tonally, establish tonality and key, and show students a series of familiar patterns. Give them a chance to audiate and challenge them to name the functions as they're audiating. Have students copy the do signature, read it together, hide it from students' view, and then they write it from audiation. Again, you can walk around the room and show students the pattern if they need a reminder. The second way to approach this is through dictation. I generally let students work alone on this as an independent activity. I give them the time signature or the do signature and the measure layout, and then they bring it up to me when they're finished and we talk through it. This is much easier when you use syllables and show them how they can use solfege as a technique and a problem-solving tool. As a challenge for more motivated students, you can have them renotate the same exercise in a new time signature. You could also have them renotate a tonal example in a new key or a new clef.
Are you a piano teacher? You may be interested in my audiation-based reading program, Piano Patterns for Your Studio. Scan the QR code or click below to find out how to teach reading in a fun and natural way with Piano Patterns.